Hello, everyone. Bill Adams, Realtor, Coldwell Banker Realty with you. Hey, joining me today is Annette Sellers. Annette is the Chief Development Officer at the House of Refuge. Annette, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Nice to
joining
meet
us.
you. Thanks for having me.
It's a
Appreciate it.
pleasure. Why don't we start by you telling us about your business?
You bet. So, House of Refuge is on the old Williams Air Force Base near Power and Williamsfield Road.
Mhm.
We have been here 27 years. We are 88 homes that serve homeless and domestic violence victims. 80 of the 88 homes serve families
Mhm.
and allow them to do transitional housing for up to 1 year here with us in our community. And the other 8 homes provide the wraparound services that really help our families try to get back on their feet. Those services include a family services facility where case managers provide the guidance to our residents to help them return to self-sustainability. We have an employment and education or workforce development case manager that helps with could be resume writing, upskilling, it could be returning to school, getting
Mhm.
degrees, getting a GED, up hiring,
Uh-huh.
job interviews, those types of things. So the employment and education specialist works with them as well to make sure that the residents are on track to either a higher pay or some additional skill sets to help them advance their world as well. We have a donation center here on property where many of the surrounding communities serve our donation center. We take gently used household goods, bedding, um, small kitchen appliances like coffee makers, blenders, those types of things, gently used clothing for
Mhm.
both youth and adults. And then we also are a state certified food bank. So we do food
Oh,
drives,
wow.
we do cleaning product drives, we do toiletry drives, anything that we can allow our families to save money and not have to purchase. We go out to the community, to schools, churches, our chambers of commerce, which we are engaged with most in the East Valley, to really try to acquire a following of donors that help us build upon what we're trying to do to get these folks back out into the community. So, most important, we are 100% transitional housing. In 2016, we were all the way up till 2016, we were federally funded. And in 2016, those funds were swept for
Oh.
transitional housing.
Mhm.
So we lost all of our funding in 2016 and had to become a privately funded entity. And proud to say that here we are 7 years later and doing an outstanding job in keeping families into our homes. So folks might also ask, who stays with you?
Mhm.
We are a family community, so the folks that come into our community or apply for housing have to have custody of at least one minor child. We are a drug-free, alcohol-free property. We are a mandated work program as well. They do pay a small, highly reduced rent to get back on their feet, but it's really about those wraparound services coming together to help them build a plan from day one through day 365 to get back out into the community and help their children break that cycle of homelessness. So, neat community.
Wow. What a fantastic organization and great services that you offer.
Thank you.
How did you get into the business?
Do that. So I was at the Gilbert Chamber of Commerce for 11 years. Nonprofit world has always been my world.
Mhm.
When this position posted as Chief Development Officer, I raised my family as a single mom. So House of Refuge has been a member of the Gilbert Chamber, the Queen Creek Chamber, the Tempe Mesa, several different chambers.
Mhm.
But it did give me an opportunity to just reflect on what could it be for me to help folks that I was so blessed to not find myself in that situation, continue to do my nonprofit work, but go on to help others really get back on their feet. So I've been here 2 years now, just over 2 years.
Oh, wow. What a
Yeah,
great story. Great
yeah,
journey.
a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
All right. Along the way, there had been some memorable experiences.
Mm.
Any one in particular you'd like to share with us?
So I do a lot of our marketing for House of Refuge, and every Friday I post a resident success story online. We
Mhm.
call it Faces of HOR, Faces of House of Refuge. If anyone follows us on any of the 4 major platforms, you'll see those stories. But for example, Bailey, we just posted Bailey's story last week. Bailey just graduated with 2 associate's degrees. She is on her way to finding financial freedom as she graduates out.
Mhm.
But it does give us an opportunity to share miracles that happen every single week here on our property with the community, and just letting them know what their dollars, what their donations, what their services, their volunteerism, all of that. What does that provide to the residents in our community, and how does it help them? So she stands out because I just posted her last Friday. We have a lot of cool stories that come off our property.
Oh, that is great.
Yeah.
So, with all the great work that you do, there's got to be some challenges along the way. What are your particular challenges?
You bet. There are challenges. Being privately funded, we are always looking for new donors. My development team goes out on a regular basis and is out looking to see how we can help our families continue to become self-sustainable, just being a privately funded entity. So between that, I think are some of our challenges. Staffing and volunteer. We are a staff of 24 to 25 employees, maybe almost a half and half or a little bit higher employee to full-time to part-time ratio. But volunteers, oh my goodness, volunteers are the biggest piece of what we're looking for. Oftentimes in our community, the volunteers come to us, they stay with us, they're dedicated to the mission and what we're doing on property. But sometimes it's a challenge, especially now, summertime, vacations, children out of school. We lag in volunteerism from a summer standpoint, and then we'll see it pick back up again. But just folks helping us out. We try to save the bigger portion of the dollars that we bring in to help our families versus bringing folks in at a employment situation.
Sure. All right.
Yeah.
What do you hear back from the families? What kind of
awesome.
feedback do you get?
I wish everybody could come to House of Refuge and talk to our residents. It's pretty amazing. They are grateful. About 85% of our families are single family households led by a female with children. They're grateful. They need a breath. They need a hand up, not a handout. They just want a better life for them and their kids. But they can't make ends meet in today's high rent, higher housing units. It's difficult to know that, if you have been evicted because you can't afford $2,200, now you have to save $4,400 to get into that next place with first and last month's rent. Wow. So housing and affordability for them are some of the larger problems, but it does help us obviously hear from them their stories and their successes and celebrate their wins, which is really cool.
Okay. I could probably assume and probably be pretty accurate with what motivates you just from the little bit that I've heard today, but you tell me, what motivates Annette?
Yeah. I started my career in fundraising many years ago. My children are now all adults, but probably about 35 years ago. I have a degree in human services, so I've always been in the nonprofit space. Fundraising is where I really have always excelled, and I did it many years ago while my children were little, right out of my house. And then I went to work for nonprofits, one after the next. This one kind of brings me full circle right back to the direct fundraising aspect of it. So that motivates me. Our residents, their stories, their needs, small, simple things like getting an automobile fixed. Everybody needs an automobile to get to work, and all it takes is to make one person happy with a car being fixed, and you get that joy from them that they just need a break, just a break. So yeah, that all motivates me. It's really cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
So with all that you're doing, all the great things that you're doing here in the organization, you have to carve out time for Annette.
Yeah,
so
I do.
What does Annette do for fun?
Yeah, good question. So I work 4 10-hour days, and I work those 4 10-hour days specifically so I can have Annette time. I do agree that work-life balance is important to what you're doing in any situation. But I work Monday through Thursday, 10-hour days, and I give it everything I've got in those 10-hour days. I get 3-day weekends every week, which is beautiful. I travel a ton. I'm never home. I'm never home. I'm an empty nester. I said my kids are adults. I am in Prescott in 2 weeks. I'm on an Alaskan cruise in 4 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Last week, I was in Greer in 3 weeks. Before that, I was in Rocky Point. So I travel a lot.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow, what great balance. I mean, all the great work that you're doing here, and then you take care of yourself as well.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic. Well, Annette, I appreciate you spending time with us today and helping me learn more about your organization. So folks, you may have heard it earlier in the interview, but volunteer. Hey, if you can lend a hand, if you're interested in volunteering, here's a great place that you can contribute. Or any questions, please reach out to the House of Refuge, Annette, and you know, play a part. This is Bill Adams, Coldwell Banker Realty. Thank you.